Issue number 1 unfolds with Green Arrow, Black Canary, and Green Lantern, as Dinah and Oliver try to convince Hal to go to a bar with them and have a drink, but Hal wants to go home and do laundry. However, he ends up going with them. They enter the bar, and Hal exclaims that he does not want to be a third wheel. Dinah sarcastically tells him that he should get into a relationship that actually lasts more than a week. While the three of them are joking, one big guy approaches Dinah and asks her if he can buy her a drink. Oliver smiles, and it pisses off the big guy, who grabs him, but Dinah gets angry and gives him one last chance to walk away. He sarcastically says to Oliver that he needs a girl to protect him. Oliver responds that he doesn't need her to protect him but actually enjoys when she does that. She grabs the big guy and pushes him away. Now she starts beating the crap out of them one by one. The big guy is about to throw a chair at Black Canary, but Oliver uses a small peanut to distract him, and she brutally punches him. Now when all of those guys are lying on the ground, they start joking again. They mess with Hal because he was being a third wheel. The scene shifts to the present, where Hal and Black Canary are standing in front of Oliver's grave. One by one everyone leaves, but Hal and Dinah stay there. Dinah asks Hal if he is still taking Superman's side. Green Lantern responds that the world is a better place now. So he is standing with Superman, and he finally leaves. Clark arrives and approaches Dinah. He tries to apologize for what he did because it was not his fault. Dinah gets angry and starts shouting. Clark's ears get destroyed, and he starts bleeding. Clark grabs her mouth, and she tells him to show his true self. She says that Clark does not see the world like they do because he is not human. She further asks him to look at her carefully. Upon looking carefully, Superman realizes that Dinah is pregnant. Clark flies away. But Dinah was recording everything. Someone asks her if she recorded everything, and she responds, yes. A narration shows that Green Lantern has been in space for over a year because he was protecting the world and fighting for the Guardians. Now he is finally returning home, but the Earth is way different than the one he left behind. The scene shifts to Gotham, where someone turns on the bat signal. Gordon gets scared, but it is Superman who did that. Clark asks Gordon about Bruce, but Gordon exclaims that he does not know where Batman is. Clark thinks that he must be lying, but when he observes carefully, he realizes that Gordon is speaking the truth. Clark tells him to inform him if he ever sees or hears about Batman. Clark asks Gordon if he has a daughter because Gordon exclaims that he does not see Batman as a fugitive. However, Clark clarifies that he is not trying to threaten him. He says that Gordon has a large number of masses on his lungs, which means he has cancer. Clark suggests he seek treatment, and Gordon realizes that he is smoking a cigarette, which is why Clark said that. And finally, Clark leaves. Now Batman finally wakes up and opens his eyes. He tries to get up, but Alfred tells him to stay down. Bruce exclaims that he has to be alert, but Alfred says that Bruce needs to lie down because his back is still broken. Bruce asks where he is, and Alfred responds that he called a friend. Zatanna appears and tells Bruce that he is outside of time and space because Superman is trying to find him everywhere. Moreover, Raven is helping Clark try to find him in every realm. Zatanna reveals that they are inside the Tower of Dr. Fate. Bruce tries to get up, but Zatanna uses her spell to make him sleep again. Now the scene shifts back to Green Lantern. It is narrated that he met a girl before going on a mission. He made a promise to call her because she gave him her number. However, he had to go on a mission. But now that he is coming back home, he will call her, but suddenly someone grabs him. His hands and legs get trapped. It is Sinestro who caught Green Lantern. Green Lantern is able to land one punch on him, but then multiple lanterns grab him. Sinestro tells Green Lantern that the Earth has changed now because the superheroes finally realize what is really going on. He informs him that the war is coming, but Green Lantern jokes about his appearance. Sinestro tries to remove his ring, and Green Lantern gets scared. He was about to send a message to the other superheroes, but Sinestro breaks his finger, and Green Lantern turns back to his normal form and dies, while Sinestro exclaims that the war is coming. Now the scene shifts to the Green Lantern Corps, and one Guardian asks another if something is troubling him. Ganthet responds, Earth. He says that there has been a large power shift. He blames him for being too involved with Earth and always looking at Earth. Ganthet responds that Earth is a focal point. So many wars, so many heroes have spread across the universe from Earth. He says that a huge event is taking place on Earth. They ask him about Hal Jordan. He responds that he is concerned. By Hal's own involvement in that act, suddenly another Green Lantern appears and he asks the Guardian if they really think that Superman is trying to rule over the world. One Guardian says that the recent actions taken by Superman are not good because most of the nations do not agree with him. Gardner speaks for Superman, saying that he cannot do such a thing like that. Ganthet tells him that Hal Jordan is missing. He was going back to his home when his ring suddenly stopped giving signals. They suspect that this is related to Gardner's home planet because there are only two powers capable of doing that. Now the scene shifts to Hal Jordan. He was flying a jet, but suddenly his jet caught fire. And now he cannot control it anymore. His girlfriend tells him to eject from the jet. Before it crashes down, Hal exclaims that he can land the plane even though its engine is on fire. She runs to tell another man to bring the emergency crew. However, when she realizes that the jet is fine and Hal is perfectly okay, she gets shocked and asks him how he did that. He says that he is too talented, but in reality, he used his ring to land the jet. She tries to scold him, but Hal exclaims that it would have been much worse if that jet got destroyed. She says that Hal does not wear his ring when he is flying, but he responds that the government tried to kill Superman, so he has to be very careful. Suddenly he receives a call from Superman and he has to go, but before he could go, they both share an emotional moment, and she tells him that he does not need to pretend in front of her, he can be his true self. Now the scene shifts to the Watchtower. Superman informs Hal that the Congress is about to shut down the US government. Hal asks Clark what he wants him to do. Clark responds that Green Lantern has to convince them not to do that. Hal says that he is interfering with them. But Superman tells him that he has been charged to protect the people of Earth, so he is not interfering, he is protecting. Hal asks about Diana. Superman exclaims that Diana is not in good condition, and the doctors don't know if she will ever wake up. Hal asks Clark if he would join him in Washington. Superman exclaims that the government tried to kill him, so he believes that he is angry, that is why he is not coming. Green Lantern gives him a little sympathy, saying that Diana will be fine. On the other hand, Flash and Green Lantern have already arrived in the Capitol building. Hal shuts down the door and orders that no one is going to leave. Now the scene shifts to Batman, who receives a call from someone. Bruce asks if the Tower of Fate gets cell phone reception, and Dr. Fate says, "We are in all places and none." Zatanna says that Dr. Fate is saying that it does. However, Alfred reminds Bruce that he is not picking up the call. Bruce exclaims that he knows who's calling. That is why he is not picking up. Alfred tells Bruce that if he does not receive the call, then it will be diverted. Now Oracle picks up a call from Mr. President. He asks about Batman, but Oracle exclaims that Batman is not available. The President tells Oracle that he is not going to put his faith in a faceless voice. Oracle makes sure that they are working for the same purpose. They want the world to return to its people. Now she asks about what's really happening and why he called. The President reveals that Superman's people have taken over the government. Now the scene shifts to Congress. Green Lantern argues that the government is transparently corrupt and people are just working for their own benefit. He tries to show Hal his place, but Green Lantern tells him that he has been ordered to spread peace on Earth. So he is doing his duty. He suggests that he do his too. The scene shifts to the Watchtower. Diana's mother comes there to see her daughter. Superman tells her that Diana was trying to protect him when she got nuked. She tells him that Diana always chooses her own path, so it is not his fault. Clark tells her that Earth's finest doctors checked her, but they did not promise that Diana would wake up. Her mother tells Superman that even though their doctors are very competent, Themyscira has literal gods to heal people, and Diana will be fine there. Suddenly an alarm goes off, and Robin tells Superman that they have a visitor. It was Sinestro. He was standing in front of him. Diana's mother asks about the situation. Clark tells her to take her daughter and go away. He flies towards Sinestro and brutally punches him. Sinestro tries his best to stop him, but Clark throws him onto the moon. He starts bleeding, but Sinestro tells Superman that he is not there to fight, he is there to warn him because someone is coming for Superman, and there is a war ahead. On the other hand, Congress finally agrees. Green Lantern and Flash walk away. But one woman exclaims that they just cannot walk away when they literally made the entire Congress their hostage. Hal appreciates them for doing their job. When they walk outside, a whole military is standing in front of them. Suddenly Gardner and Ganthet arrive, and Gardner sarcastically says that Green Lantern has clearly pissed off an entire country without him. Ganthet orders Hal to take him to Superman. The scene shifts to centuries ago when Krypton was about to be destroyed. Clark's father tells his mother that they have to let go of their son, but his mother is not ready at all. Krypton is on the verge of being destroyed, and they have to take a hard decision. He tells his wife that it's time now. Finally, Lara agrees to accept the decision, and his father puts him inside a pod. His mother gives him a last kiss and says goodbye. Clark starts crying when he enters the pod. Lara cannot see her son crying, and finally, the pod starts flying. Lara exclaims that Kal-El is afraid and he wants her to hold him. The scene shifts to the present. Superman asks Ganthet what he can do for him. Ganthet tells Clark that he helped him several times in the past, and he came here not to interfere but to give him advice. Superman asks what advice he wants to give him. Ganthet tells him to stop what he is doing. Superman stands up and exclaims that he is protecting these people. Ganthet responds that he is trying to control them. Superman fires back, saying that he is one of them. Ganthet tells him that he is not one of them, he has been raised among them. Superman argues that he is not going to let happen what happened to his own planet. His planet was destroyed because the superiors did not take action at the right time. Ganthet tells him that he has seen hundreds of civilizations fall, but it is always hard to see them fall because they cannot interfere with them even though they have huge power. Superman listens to someone and asks Ganthet if he really saw multiple civilizations fall. Then did he also see Krypton fall apart? Ganthet stops speaking, and Superman gets angry. He yells at him, saying that he cannot lecture him on responsibility because he saw Krypton fall and did not even act. Ganthet responds that it was their own fault, they were about to fight, but Gardner steps in and tries to relax both of them because if they fight, they will literally wipe out an entire continent from the map. Superman angrily orders him to get the hell out of his planet. Ganthet walks away and tells Superman that he felt bad seeing Superman this cold. He asks Green Lantern to come with him, even though Hal thinks for a second. He walks away. We finally see that Superman was talking to Sinestro all the time, even though he does not trust him, but still, Sinestro tells Superman that the Guardians will come for him like they came for him.
Please subscribe and feel free to comment below if you have any questions about the comics.